guys, it's Freddie Tech back with another video from CFL-TECH. Look what we have here today. We have the Watch On 4K Pro streaming device. Now this has been a little tough to get at launch as it has not been in stock very much. So we were able to get our hands on one this past week. So here we are, we do have it now. So if you want to get one, it does look like the inventory levels are back up. So that's good to see. But if you want to get one, I would grab one soon. Now, we did a comparison video yesterday with the specifications for all of the Watch On devices that we did a review on up to this point. We have two others that are on the channel. So check out that video from yesterday to check out the specification differences between the three devices they put out, and also the two review videos of the previous Watch On devices. We have the 4K streaming box that we did just several weeks ago, maybe a few months now, and that's on the channel, so check that out as well. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to unbox this device here, and we're also going to show you the specifications and all that, and then we'll do a performance video with the actual device on the TV, so we show you what it looks like. Now this is a pretty good device with 3 gigs of RAM, you have a 2 gigahertz processor, and you have 32 gigs of storage, which is amazing these days. It's one of the most out there. Actually, it is the most. Now, of course, you know, the Fire Stick 4K Ultra is probably the competing device, and that only has 16 gigs of storage, so this one doubles that up. So very nice to see that they're doing this. Also, you have a Google Assistant built in with the speaker hands-free, which is which is kind of unique. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what we got. Now, we did take the label off, the tape, so it opens up easily, and we did take off the wrapping one time, but we put it back on. So there you go, a little secret there. So we have this quick start guide. We're going to put that aside first here and see what we got here. We actually have the device, so we're going to take a look at that in a moment. We'll put that aside as well. Feels kind of hefty, which is nice. Feels very solid. So let's see what we got under this cardboard covering. Little housing here. And we have the power adapter, which is a good thing to see. We need power. You also have the HDMI cable, which they include, which is very nice. You have a remote and 2 AAA batteries. So let's go ahead and take a look at the power adapter and see what we got here. Looks like it's a barrel type connector, which is not USB-C, which is interesting. The previous devices they put out do have that, and you'll see that in the comparison video we did yesterday with the specs. So check that out like we said earlier. But there you go. So maybe they need this for more power because this device outputs a little more with the speaker system and all that. So that could be why. So there you go, HDMI cable, standard stuff here. It'll get you up and running and get you what you need to start watching your favorite shows and movies and sports or whatever you watch. Now you have the AAA batteries, which is a nice touch. They throw that in there. Now they're not name brand that we can recognize here, but hey, it gets you up and running. That's nice to see they throw it in. And here's the remote. Now this remote does feel kind of cheap and plasticky. It is plastic, what you expect, but it does feel on the cheap side. But one benefit is lightweight. It does feel pretty good in the hand as well. Now the buttons are very tactile. Now this circular button here, the OK or Enter button, is the only really the assistant button, and these buttons are only in white, and On is also in white, but this other remotes they have are mostly white, so this is a little different touch. Now there is a free TV button in blue. There's a button some people are getting. This one doesn't have it, so this is a very unique situation. We don't know what's going on with the remote differences. Some people are getting a different button, so we don't know if this is remote gate, what's going on, or maybe find the golden ticket with the remote. Maybe maybe there's a prize. We don't know what happened. There could be a screw up, but we're not sure why people are getting different remotes, but this is interesting. They're calling it a premium remote, and I don't know, I think they may have removed that calling of it now on the website, so that's interesting to see. Very unique with the device to see different remotes. So there you go, but it feels good. It'll get the job done. So there you go with the remote. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the box real quick here and see what it says here for the specs and all that. So there you go, 4K Pro streaming device, 4K UHD resolution, TV streaming, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, fast Wi-Fi. We know it's Wi-Fi 6, which is really cool. Find My Remote feature, that's kind of cool as well. That's something that's really needed with a Google device. Roku has it, so why not Google? Easily cache your photos, videos, and music with Chromecast built in. And then, of course, you have over 800 free live TV channels. Now, we did a video on the free Google channels, so check that out on the channel as well. And then here are the specs here. So it tells you here you got 3 gigs of RAM. You have 32 gigs of storage. You have a CPU quad-core Cortex A55, which is really nice. That's at 2 gigahertz speeds, 4K ultra high definition resolution. Now we'll put the specs up on the screen as well for you so it's easily seen. So there you go. We're going to take a look now at the device itself and look at the labeling it has. Now the labeling is kind of cool. They did this as well. It's a nice touch. They show you here you have the power adapter, you have USB cable, which is USB 3.0, so that's nice. 3.0 is nice stuff because it's faster. You also have HDMI port here. You have Ethernet, so you can plug in your Ethernet cable directly to your gateway. Now it's only 100 megabits down, so that's a bit of a downside to that, but it is more reliable than Wi-Fi for the most part. Now, if you have a congested Wi-Fi network, maybe you want to use Ethernet, and 100 down might be fast enough. And for streaming, it certainly is. So that's not a major problem for most consumers, the average user. The enthusiast people want more speed, more power, more this and that. We do videos for the major, for the average consumer most of all. That's the main thing, the people to get them up and running so we can get their movies going, shows, sports, whatever they watch. Over here now you have the reset button, which is good to have one of those in case you have any technical issues. And over here you have the on, off for the mic switch. And then over here now you have the Find My Remote. Maybe mentioned that earlier, which is a nice feature. So let's go ahead and take the wrapping off so we can see these ports now and see what they look like in the flesh here. And get this off. And there you go. So that's off. And this feels kind of nice. It's kind of like a Nest Mini fabric-y feel. They did a really good job with this. It feels really good. A little bit of heft to the device as well. Feels very solid. And then over here you have the mic mute button here on and off, which is nice. And let's go look at these ports here. You have the power adapter. You have the USB 3.0. And let's turn it around here. And then we have the HDMI. And there you have the LAN, which is your Ethernet port. And you have a reset button, which is a nice touch in case you have technical issues. So there you have it. Those are the ports. So you have also, oh, we can't forget this. This is Find My Remote. So it has a nice sound to that. So if you lose your remote, say in the couch cushions, and you don't know where it fell, hit that button. It'll chirp the remote so you can find it. Now that's a nice feature that Google TV really does need. People do lose their remotes every day, so that's a good thing. They put it on here, so that's a nice touch. So overall, feels really nice. So what we're going to do next here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the device on our TV, see how it performs and see how it looks and all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, guys, we have the Google TV set up here on our Samsung TV, the Pro device that is, the Google TV Pro device 4K from Walmart, the Watch On device that is. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look here at the performance and also some of the settings. Now there's something to keep in mind here. They do mention to keep the device 12 inches away from other devices. Now that's kind of interesting, but it is showing that in the quick start guide, so something to keep in mind. Maybe there's a magnetic field or something that they're concerned about, but just keep that in mind to keep it 12 inches away from other devices. Also, some more information about the premium remote. We did see some more information from a source that says that they are aware of the issue with the premium remote. So we did not get one. Apparently the premium remote does have that blue free TV button. Ours did not come with that. Also, the backlit is not available, so ours is not backlit. So something you may want to just wait a little bit on. They may fix this issue soon. So we don't know what caused it. It's kind of a weird issue, maybe a shortage on those remotes, and then they supplemented with the basic remote. We don't know. Not a huge issue for us, but it is a bit disappointing. The type of launch this is a little bit botched, but we'll see what they do to make it better. But I would probably wait if you want that premium remote. So just something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of the settings here that's kind of unique to this device. That is the start button on the remote. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. And with that, you do have an option how to create a shortcut, which is kind of cool. You can press the start button to open a favorite TV app or perform an action. Choose the type of shortcut below so you can open a favorite app. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And then we're going to go ahead and select the free TV channels because that will be, what the free TV button would do. So we're going to go ahead and do that with this star button. So there you go. And then let's go ahead now and activate that button and see what we get. So there you go. It's going to open the Google TV channels. We're going to get out of this for copyright concerns. But there you go, it does work. And if you want to change that, you can just long press the start button and then select a different app. So you can change it really quickly. Now, if you select the display device inputs option, it does give you the TV inputs that you can toggle through. Now, to change out of that, you do have to go into settings and the remote settings. The long press of the start button does not seem to work. So that's something we found out. So let's go back now and to look into the Google Assistant, which is unique to this, which is hands-free. Now, when you go into settings, you will want to check this out because it's not on by default. So you want to go into settings and then go privacy and then go to Google Assistant. And once in there, you see here voice control. We did turn it on. Hands-free mic with, hey, we're not going to say the word. We don't want to trigger your devices, but trust us, it does work. It's great. We did a quick voice to question to ask about how tall is the Empire State Building. Came up right away. We did the temperature outside. So once you have that set, it knows your voice model. It saves that from your previous devices. You're good to go. So it will work. It works really good, just like the Nest Mini does. Same thing. So that's a nice feature as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other feature with the remote, which let's go down here now to remote and accessories. And when you go down here now, you have Find My Remote. So that is now turned on. So we did turn that on as well. So you will hear a sound once you press that button on the box that's Find My Remote, and your remote will sound like this. So it does make a sound. So there you go. So that's easy to turn on, and another nice feature should you lose your remote. And now we're going to look at storage. So we're going to go to System. Now we did put a USB drive in the 3.0 drive, and it worked like a champ. So we did set it up and we did format it. Now we do hear that VFAT does work as well on here, but we're not going to get into the details on that, into the geeky stuff. This is more for the average consumer, just to get this up and running, to watch TV, your favorite shows, movies, sports. But there are people that are interested in that stuff, but it does work. But very easy here. We did add a USB storage. So you see here now you have a USB drive, 31 gigs, 32 gigabyte drive, I believe it is. But it went in, we did format it very quickly. So now you have access to more storage. That is a nice 3.0 USB drive. It really is very easy to work with. Now you can put a 2.0 in there as well, but you will not get the 3.0 speeds. It is backwards compatible, but very nice that they added that. And also, again, you have 32 gigs of storage and you have 3 gigabytes of RAM. So this thing does move very quickly and very smoothly. We are pleased with that so far. So let's go to the live TV tab real quick, and you see here how quickly this moves through the guide. Look at this, through the guide, look how smoothly. The buttons on here are very nice as well, very tactile on the remote. Does sound good and feels good in the hand, but very smooth up and down. You know, it's a brand new device. You do expect it to run very smoothly. So we'll see how it goes here after, a couple of weeks or a month. But I believe it'll run pretty good as long as you don't clutter it down with a lot of different apps and stuff. You should be fine. But a lot of people do like to install quite a bit, and it makes sense because you have the space. So it should still perform rather well, we think, with 3 gigs of RAM. That is above any other device like this, and it's in the market right now. So that is a good thing to see. So very nice. And there's the Google TV channels there. You have 125. We did a video on that as well when that was launched. So this is also nice. You can aggregate other services like Pluto TV and all that. It should show up in here as well. So there you go. We're not going to go too much more into this. We wanted to show some of those features with the Find My Remote, the hands-free assistant, the start button, and also the USB drive. So very nice. This device looks like it's going to be very good for the price. It's around $50 at the time of launch. Of course, that could change, but we did a video also yesterday on the comparison, so you can look at the specs with the other watch-on devices. But there you go. What are your thoughts on this? Are you picking one up, or maybe going with the HD box that came out before this for only $20? Do you like the Google Assistant maybe? That's something to think about as well. Also the USB drive, more RAM, more storage. All those things are nice. So make sure your device runs smoother. You have a little more future-proofing there, so that's also nice to see. So put your comments down below on what your thoughts are on this. If you're new on the channel here, first time watching, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops from CFL-TECH. Freddie Tech will be checking out of this one. Soon to be back with another. Take care.